How does Akashic Record reading look like? So there is a lot of confusion and there's a lot of theories how it can look like, and there's a lot of methods and technique that can bring you to reading the Akashic Records. The standard Akashic Record reading, I will be speaking about it firstly, and then I will speak about other methods, other techniques that you can use the Akashic Records. So the standard Akashic Records reading is when you connect with a practitioner, so for example me, and then you ask your questions. So you have a question about what is your divine soul gift? What is your soul path? Should you go into a relationship, this one? Or should you change your career? Or maybe you should move to a different country and you are on the verge of a very important decision and you don't know what is your soul telling you. You cannot just take into account her guidance because there's so many things going on. Because when we are on the verge of making a very important decision, well, then a lot of confusion is coming because our ego wants something, our soul wants something, we want something else, our body wants something else. There's so many things going on. So I'm helping, and other practitioners reading the Akashic Records help you to go into this state of relaxation when you ask your questions about what decision you should make, or how to see what is the negative karmic pattern that has been occurring in your life on, and how to stop it. So you can ask all those questions to me, and I go to the Akashic Records and I forward you the responses. I give you the answers that your soul wants you to know. It's very important to know that we can just ask about ourselves and we can ask about our relationship with somebody, but we cannot ask about somebody else's decisions and somebody else's feelings because it's their Akashic Records and it's their privacy. I can only access your Akashic Records if you go to the session, and that's it. So usually Akashic Records readings last for about an hour. Some practitioners make them a little bit longer, and usually they are online because of the pandemics. However, they can also be in person. I can see there's a little difference when I do readings in person because I can just feel the energies going a little bit stronger, and I can feel it much more on spot rather than online. However, it's not every case, it's just generally speaking. What is the price of the Akashic Records reading? Usually it's per hour and it depends highly on the practitioner. Sometimes it's $20, $50, $100, it all depends. So don't follow the price, I would say, rather follow your heart. So if you find a practitioner, ask your heart, is it a good person? Is it the practitioner you want to go into? And get your answers. Me by myself, I had some Akashic Records reading that were very not good, and some of them were very cheap, some of them were very expensive, and it just taught me that there's no one golden rule that you can go in order to choose rather than just following your heart. So I have a special video where I share 3 methods how to connect with your soul and understand her guidance. So you can watch the video and then you will know how to connect with your soul and see, okay, which person should I choose, which practitioner. When it goes for the preparation for the session, I would say that most important thing is that you have to be relaxed, and this is the most important. And the rest, it just depends on the person you're gonna have the reading with. When it goes to other techniques, I would say that each one of us is connecting with the Akashic Records some way or another, and Theta healing and Merkaba and reading from the source, reading from the God, channeling some different other planets. This is all going to the Akashic Records. Akashic Records is just a tool that you use in order to get the information that you wish to have. So I say that as many methods there are as many people, as many practitioners, because each one of us can also have our own methods. And the other method that I use very often is called Soul Realignment, and I go there to the Akashic Records, but it's not online, so I don't have you on the line with me. I go into the Akashic Records by myself, and I get all the information that I need about your soul, about her divine gifts, about her preferences, about negative karmic patterns. So I get all this information, and then I call you and we have a session where I share all the information. And this method, I use pendulum swing in order to understand the information that are from the Akashic Records. So it's totally different, as you can see, because in the normal reading of the Akashic Records, I go there with you and then you ask your questions, and they're open ones, and then I share you what I see. What is very important to remember is that in the Akashic Records, when we get our answers, they are symbolic. They are metaphors. They are not going to be given the exact strategy or a list of a person you have to contact or lottery numbers. No, they're gonna be a very metaphoric and symbolic language that your soul is using, that each of our soul is using. So the most important part, if you're gonna have the Akashic Records reading, is that you go very deep into understanding what is the metaphor for you. And unless you have this aha moment when you finally understand that this metaphor that has been being used in the Akashic Records translates into your life in this way, then you have to go deeper and deeper with the questions. So let me give you an example of what I mean by going deeper into understanding the metaphors. Let's say that you are calling me and you say that you would like to know a strategy for your company because you want it to grow bigger. So we go together into the Akashic Records, and I see a symbol of a flower. And I'm asking you, okay, I see this flower, does it tell anything to you? And you say, no, nothing. And I say, okay. So we can ask another question, we can go deeper. And I say, okay, Akashic Records source, please let me understand, what is this flower? Show me please more. And then I can see that the flower is this white small flower that is on a big field of green grass, and there's nothing else, just this one small white flower. And so I'm asking, okay, I need something more, I need to go deeper. So I see that the flower is having roots that go very deep inside the grass, the ground, and that the flower is like just in this beginning zone, so it's very small one, but I can see that underneath the ground there is just a whole town of the roots, like the roots are just taking all the field of the grass, and it's just the time that all these flowers are going to pop up in every now and then. So I share this metaphor with the client, and if the client's gonna say, I don't know, I don't understand anything of that, how it's supposed to help me, then I just go deeper. I ask for the Akashic Records to show me something more connected with this vision, or I'm asking, okay, can you show me a completely different vision of the same answer but in a different way, because the client doesn't understand. However, the client can say, oh, I totally know what you mean, because deep inside of me I knew that I need some time. I knew that I had to do now the groundwork. I need to put my roots, I need to make the connection, networking, and I know, but by the time that I do all the networking that I'm doing now, everything is gonna start popping up like crazy. So thank you, I understand, now I know, because deep inside I had this feeling, but you just bring it up. So that is how the Akashic Records work. So they're gonna show us metaphors, and for one person the metaphor they're gonna understand it, and for the other person they're not gonna understand it. So that's why it's very important, as I said previously, for us to be relaxed when we go into the Akashic Records, because when we are relaxed, then the information are just flowing, and then we can see the dots and we can connect them, and we can say, oh yes, I know, I had this feeling inside of me and I understand now. So this is how the Akashic Records work. This is the techniques that can be used. If you want to have an individual session with me, you can message me on Instagram or on YouTube. And if you want to learn how to read in the Akashic Records, you can join my online course, and all the information you will find in the description. I wish for your day to be filled with light and joy.